Dan kunnen we ons klaarmaken. Dan wil ik James op het podium uitnodigen. En zullen we hem een luid applaus geven. James Ray.
Wow, so many of you still here. That's good. I thought if you were given the chance to leave, many of you would. You heard there's an Englishman in town. I'm sorry that my Dutch is not good enough to speak plainly in your own language. I feel rude. And the reason really is that I only know swear words or rude words in Dutch because I've spent most of my time in Holland with the Fourth Musketeers. But it's a great joy for me to be here. It's a great honor at the beginning of 2020. In England and in English, I think in America as well, 2020 is also the two numbers associated with the eyes and with vision. If you have 20/20 vision, you can see perfectly. 20/20 vision is perfect vision. It's the sort of vision that pilots have when they have to fly airplanes. Perfect vision. If you have to wear glasses, like this picture on the screen, you go for an eye test. They make you look at the numbers, and they test you, and if you can't see, you haven't got 20/20 vision, and you need to wear glasses. So the glasses help correct the way you see. And at the start of 2020, it's become a very obvious transition for people to talk about perfect vision. 2020, the year of clarity, the year of vision, the year of seeing clearly. But I wonder if it's ever possible to have 20/20 vision. See, some of us need to wear glasses so that we can see more clearly. But other times, we put on sunglasses to stop the sun coming into our eyes. But also, if you're famous especially, you wear sunglasses to hide who you are. And if you're wearing sunglasses inside this afternoon, you must be famous. We wear things on our face to protect us from the outside. And also we wear things on our face so we can see in a different perspective. And that reminded me of a legend. The story that happened in Europe, mostly in France, in 1680. The legend is about prisoner 64389,000. And prisoner 64389,000 was the man with no identity, the man whose name was a number. This man was locked in the famous dungeon in France, in Paris, the Bastille. He was locked away, no name, and to keep his identity totally secret, they locked his face behind a mask. And it became the legend of the man in the iron mask. And this legend has enough truth. People are confident, historians are confident, that prisoner 64389,000 was actually somebody locked away with their face covered. And everybody has wondered, who could this be? Who is so important, so special, that their face needs to be covered or locked away? And many people have tried to guess, who could this be? And Alexander Dumas picked up this story. Now we should know about him. He's close to our heart because he's the one that wrote about the Three Musketeers, and then D'Artagnan, and then the Four Musketeers. And then towards the end of his saga, his book, his long novel, he writes about the man in the iron mask. And if you've ever seen the film with Leonardo DiCaprio, there's a picture of it now. Leonardo DiCaprio is King Louis XIV, reigning in France. And the story talks about the man in the iron mask who is in prison for 34 years, his identity hidden. And Alexander Dumas, he brought in to the story that this was the king's twin brother. Prisoner 64389,000 was the son of a king. And so his identity was locked away, and he was thrown into a dungeon, and his name was stripped from him, so that his brother could rule without any worry or fear of somebody else stealing what was rightfully theirs. And in the film, you see that Leonardo DiCaprio is then swapped out with his brother. What a legend, what a story. The idea that somebody was trapped behind a mask and their identity was taken away from them. How crazy. Imagine life behind a mask, all day, every day, hiding or being hidden. How crazy would it be to be the man behind the mask? But it's not so crazy, is it? Because every day, each of us puts on a mask. I wonder what your mask is. I wonder what mask you're wearing today. See, often we wear masks to try to present the best side of us. We wear masks to show the best face we have, or the worst. We wear masks to play a role. Our funny friend wore the mask of a teacher standing in front of a class. Each of us wears masks, sometimes with a funny guy. We wear a mask of humor. Look at me, I'm hilarious. I'm the funny guy. You want me at your party? I'm the guy. You want some fun? Speak to me. I'm the funny guy. Some of us wear masks of strength. I'm the tough guy. Look at my mask. Don't come near me. I'll swallow you up. Some of us wear masks of leader or the boss. But as I wear this mask, you and I now have some distance. And I'm pushing you away because I've put something between us. In my life, you've already heard that I lead 4M in the UK. I wear a mask of CEO. I'm also a husband to my wife. I'm a father to my sons. We have an adopted son, so I must be a good father because he chose for me to be his dad. He asked me to be his father when his father died. My wife is beautiful. I must be a good man because she's so beautiful and she's my wife. 4M UK, we have thousands of men coming on our extreme character challenge. I must be a good leader because the men keep coming. I'm also a friend. People invite me to lots of fun things all the time. I must be such a fun guy. I must be the wise guy. I'm a priest in the Church of England. I must be a holy guy. I have a master's in theology and leadership. I must be clever. But when I take my mask off, I have to show you the real me. On the picture of me, I have long hair. I got told off for cutting it before I came here because I've ruined the impression you have of me. Behind the mask, I've got long hair and I'm a brave soldier and a warrior. And when I take the mask off, you realize I've had a haircut. And I'm just James. Without this, I can't hide anymore. I have to be me. I have to be the real version of me. And psychologists think that we wear masks to hide the imposter syndrome. The imposter syndrome is really easy to understand, and I'm sure most of you know what it is already, but the word imposter means fake, and syndrome means like action, scenario. It means a posture of fakeness. And imposter syndrome goes like this. Whatever role of responsibility we're in, you or me, we sometimes wake up in the morning and feel fake. And feel like if only they knew what I'm really like. If these people following me, if they knew that I don't know what I'm doing, if they knew I can't do it, they wouldn't follow me anymore. These kids, I don't know how to raise them. I've no idea what I'm doing. I'm totally out of my depth. If only they knew their dad is a loser. If I told my sons what I was really like when I was their age, they would never love me. If I told my wife what I really thought, what I really think, she would leave me. If my employees knew about me, they wouldn't work for me anymore. And this is imposter syndrome, so we put the mask and play the game. But the truth is, men, it takes courage to take off the mask. Susan Sparks said this, hopefully it's going to come on the screen. One of our greatest fears is that if we show our true selves, the world will say, oh, it's just you. But being just you is actually the best and most perfect thing you could ever be. Oscar Wilde said something a bit similar. He said, be yourself. Everybody else is taken. The psalmist writes this in the Bible. I praise you, for I'm fearfully and wonderfully made. The Bible talks in many other verses about how unique you are. But masks make shallow the things that God has made to be deep. Everything in our lives gets cheated when we start wearing masks. And as I stand here before you this afternoon, I have to tell you that as a father, I lose my temper. And on the inside of my mask, the way I see myself inside here, yes, if Father is written on the outside, you can see that. But on the inside, it says here, someone who gets annoyed with his kids. It says here, someone who's on his phone sending emails during dinner time in the family. Somebody who chooses to be busy at bedtime, at bath time, when there's that whole routine going on. James is someone who hides and does a quick job in the garden to avoid the messy stuff. On the inside of my mask, it also says that although I love my wife, too often I'm not willing to listen to her or to spend enough time with her to really show her I care. Instead, I just want to fix her and make her problems go away and just sort them all out. Sometimes my tongue with her is so quick, so sharp, it's like I'm speaking to the dog instead of my treasured prize or my gift. In the inside of this mask, I told you on the outside as a priest, as a holy man. But on the inside, I know that there's a man who also spends too long sometimes on Instagram looking at girls in bikinis and worse. I also know on the outside I'm a friend. But this last year, I've let people down by being thoughtless and rushed through with things and been hasty and trodden all over people who I love. I wonder what's on the inside of your masks. In the film that I was discussing earlier, The Man in the Iron Mask, when they take the mask off prisoner 64389,000, when the mask is removed, they tell him his name. The musketeers are amazed. It's an identical replica of the king. This is Louis's brother. His name's Philippe. He's the son of a king. He's a prince. They're shocked. They're totally amazed. But as they give him his name, so too they give him back his identity. Aramis says this, as Philippe is coming to terms with his now freedom, but also his new life where he's being seen for who he really is. Aramis says to him, the greatest mystery of life is who we truly are. And I would rephrase that and say the greatest blessing of life is finding out who we truly are. When we're able to take the mask away and put it down and to stand in front of other people as we are, the best and the worst together. That is beautiful. What would the world be like if we men learned how to take our masks off and to stop putting them back on and to leave them down? What would your world be like if you were real, not fake? What would your world be like if those people you love, the people in your A-list of who you really love, saw the real you, the good and the bad? What if we connected as men, not around the Ferraris or even around the bicycles, but what if we connected as men around the things that we're struggling with? What if your conversation with your friends wasn't always about football or hockey or whatever it is, but was actually about how you need help to love your wife or your girlfriend or your children? What if the conversation was about how you're struggling at work to manage your team and you don't know how to lead in this area? What if you asked somebody to help you? What if you admitted you don't know how to change the oil in your car or to chop down a tree? And you said to somebody, would you show me how to do this? I don't know how to light a fire, even show me. Can you show me? Can you teach me? And what if they said to you, I can teach you how to light a fire. Will you teach me how to be loyal? Will you teach me how to manage my internet usage on my phone because I'm really struggling with what I'm looking at? Wouldn't that be a beautiful world? E. Cummings said this: to be nobody but yourself in a world which is doing its best night and day, I think it'll come on the screen, to make you everybody else. This means to fight the hardest battle which any human being can fight and never stop fighting. Today, men, you're going to be given a lot of good information. I'm not going to explain how to fight the battle for you. You're going to have to work it out as you listen. You're going to have to join the pieces of information together. You're going to have to work out the God bit and what you think about that. You're going to have to work out the life hacks that people are offering you and how you fit those in. You're going to have to work out whether you're going to be the guy that puts his hands in the air or stands with his hands by the side. It doesn't really matter, but you need to look honestly at yourself. Nobody but yourself. And fight night and day to be the real man that you've been called to be, the true you, the man who doesn't have a mask anymore. I wonder if you're prepared to fight this fight, if you're prepared this afternoon to take this brave step. There's a piece of paper underneath your seat. This could be your 20 seconds of insane courage. I want you to hold the piece of paper high if you're willing to get involved with this in a serious way. If you're going to take this seriously, if you're going to say, I'm going to choose to remove my mask. I want you to hold this piece of paper in the air right now. And here's what I want you to do. 20 seconds of insane courage. I want you to draw on this piece of paper a big oval shape like this. I don't know if you can see it. And then draw 2 eyes on this page and a mouth like this. If you can't do it very easy, don't worry about it. It's the thought that counts. Then get your pen and stab out the eyes. And make them into proper eyes so you can see through your mask. And put the rubbish in your pocket so somebody doesn't have more work to do later on. Stab out the mouth. And eventually you should have your own mask. And with this mask now, I want you to write on one side some of the masks that you wear. Some of the labels that you've been given. Some of the things that while I've been talking, you've been thinking, that's something I have to do. The funny guy, the tough guy, the fix-it, the techie guy, the fit guy, the fat guy, the ugly guy, the beautiful guy, the boss, the husband, the father, the friend. Just write those down. And then turn the mask over. And nobody's looking, no one cares, and you probably can't write anyway. On the other side, I want you to write some of those masks that only you see. Some of those things that are distorting the way you view the world. Some of your fears. Are you lonely? Are you scared? Are you running out of money? Are you addicted to something? Are you trapped in a relationship that's unhealthy for you? What are the things in your life that you're hiding from anybody else? And if you don't want to write the words, you could just put some initials, a code that you know. 20 seconds of insane courage is all it's going to take. And when you've done that, I want to ask you to do 2 things. The second thing I want you to do is to burn this mask. But before you burn it, I want you to make a promise to yourself, and by default me standing here and everybody else around you, that you will show this mask to one other male at some point in the next week or so. Somebody who you're going to see, who you like, who you can have a relationship with and regularly meet with. Has to be a man. I want you to show this mask to a man. Ask him to listen to you while you explain to him what this is about. The outside you and the inside you. And I want you to ask him to journey with you until these things are not things that hold you back, but they're things that have gone. They're things that you're free of. And then with him, at some point, I want you to have a little ceremonial burning of this mask. But don't burn it until you've dealt with it. Men, put down your masks. Let's be guys who are real. Let's be guys who are honest. Let's not be trapped, faceless and nameless, and caught up in our bondage. Let's be men who are free, for whom the Son sets free. He is free indeed.